Hello, hey there, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you can hear me very well, loud and clear, wherever you are. Welcome to this Bold and Raw Talks. Today, again, being a Monday, I'm privileged to have my guest, again, Lydia Tett Olet, to talk about parenting. And today's topic is about discipline to teenagers and preteens. So if you have a child, if you're a parent, or if you have younger brothers and sisters, you have nephews and nieces. In short, if you have a family member who is a preteen, just about to become a teenager, and who is a teenager, I welcome you to watch and listen to this. Whether you're staying with your child, like some of you who follow my page, your children could be far away from you, but please tune in right now to listen to her experiences raising 3 amazing daughters. And you as a viewer, you can also join in with questions and your ideas on how do you discipline your son or your daughter. So help me to share this video to all Facebook groups and also tag your friend. You can even tag your partner or your spouse to listen in, or you can watch together if you're lucky to be watching us live right now. We started this program every Monday, and during this time, Monday from 5 p.m. United Kingdom time, where my guest is based, is when we will be doing these shows every Monday at this time about parenting. So welcome here, share the video, tag a friend, and I hope we will have a nice discussion for the next 1 hour. I want to greet you quickly, one by one, and then I will bring in my guest as she is sharing the video to her friends and family members. Please do me a favor to share the video, and then we will start the discussion right away. Leila, I see you. Thank you so much. Evelyn, thank you. Nancy, I hope. Thank you very much. I'm fine. Kebirunji, I see you. Thank you. Thank you. Chris, thank you for watching from Germany. Janet Mora, I see you. Shiro Van Beveren, hi there. Gunyangwe Sarah, hello there. Ann Honey, Faiza Ajuma, Mogokoro Okerebi Bikundo, thank you for watching. Mary Otoki, thank you so much. Jobu L Oyaro, thank you for watching from Kenya. Catherine Madenga, I see you. Johnson Nabasa, hello there from Uganda. Aji Sweet, I see you. Thank you so much. Beating a teenager will only make them rebellious. Talking to them helps a lot. Thank you so much for the first observation there by Shiro Van Beveren, and we are going to talk about that beating. But how do you discipline teenagers of these days? I've been a teacher for the last 10 years. Teaching teenagers was the most difficult thing for me to do in my career, and I have so many stories of handling teenagers and how this generation has become complicated, not only for the teachers but also more especially for the parents. That's why I want you to listen to this. You never know, you might get something that will help you save your son or your daughter from going to that path of very bad behavior that will make you regret as a parent. That's why I want you to tune in now in the next 1 hour without moving anywhere to listen to what we are going to be talking today. So my guest, Lydia, are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, good. Lydia is here. Welcome back, Lydia.
Thank you.
Thank you so much again for joining this show today. I really appreciate. How was your day?
Well, my day was okay. I'm still in the office, as you can see.
Still in the office. It's 5 p.m. in the UK.
The UK is cold, but it's good.
It's cold. Yeah, but now it's 5 p.m. as we are doing the video.
Yes, it is actually.
Okay, good. I'm doing this in Texas and it's 11 in the morning. Yeah. All right, let's start. And again, for the purpose of the introduction, for the first time viewer who is seeing Lydia, please, just a quick introduction about you, please.
All right. So thank you very much. Well, my name is Lydia Tett Olet. I'm originally from Kenya, but I reside in the UK. And I have my 3 beautiful angels, which are girls, and a single mother. And I always have to say this, a single mother by choice, because I know how people bash single mothers out there. So that's why I'm always proud to say I'm a single mother by choice. So if you want to bash me knowing that it was my personal choice that I want to be single. And I've raised 3 beautiful girls. They're well behaved, well mannered, even though I'm a single mother. So just to tell single mothers out there, do not listen to all this crap that people are saying, single mother this, single mother that. You can raise up your children well behaved by yourself if you have to. Only if you have to. I had to, so I took that route. So thank you so much. So yeah, that's it.
All right. Yeah, no, that's enough. Thank you, Lydia. Raising 3 daughters on your own and by choice.
Yes,
it is by choice. So the single parents who are watching here, please pay attention. Lydia is one of you. She has been raising 3 daughters up to now, and she's still raising them. So welcome to this show. And thank you for everyone who is tuning in. I say hello to all of you who is commenting there. Thank you guys who are watching and also sharing the video. So in the topics today that we have about, the topic is about discipline.
Yes.
Majorly is discipline, but we have 4 topics as we did last week. The first topic, we will just do a recap of what we talked about last week. And anyone who watched us last week or watched the last week's show, please say I did on the comments. If you watched last week's show, please let us know on the comments. Yeah, last week, Lydia, we talked about parenting. How does it start? At what stage?
Yeah, last week, just a catch up, we spoke about Genesis. And we spoke about the beginning of every parenting is when you start thinking that I want to have a baby. Or some of us, some people don't really plan. So for you, if you didn't plan, it's when you realize that you're pregnant. That's when parenting starts. Yes. It doesn't start when you've given birth. And that's the mistake a lot of us do. So we make a lot of mistakes. 9 months pregnant, we curse our baby because we were not ready to have that baby. We speak all the negative words that we can speak about this baby, and that affects the baby. So that was the Genesis. We spoke about that last week. So just a catch up of when does it start? And then we also spoke about who's responsible
for your child. Yes.
And we said it is you, because the thing is, when you wait for somebody else to do it, and that's what happens, because mothers, especially, because we do have more single mothers than fathers. That is the reality of life. It doesn't matter which color they are, because we even have a lot of white people, as I live in the UK, that are single mothers. So it doesn't matter. So the thing is, if you expect someone else to do it, which we normally do, you say, children, it's a responsibility for both mom and dad. It is your own responsibility, because we spoke about CEO as a company. Because if you look at this thing, this child as this is my baby, this is the CEO, this is my company, this is my child, then you give that child your all. You don't expect for somebody else to come and look after your company for you. And that's where we see a lot of people who have started companies. It's their companies, they're successful. So why can you be successful in your company and not in your home? Because you're expecting somebody else to do that. You're expecting either your husband or your wife. So we spoke about that as well, that take it as your own responsibility to bring up your children.
Yes, beautiful. Yeah, you are the only CEO of your child. Nobody else is going to be in charge of your children. Exactly. And then we also talked about there is no manual of parenting. There is no, like, the way you have raised your 3 daughters is not the same way another parent watching is going to raise her children. Every parent have their own style, and you have your style.
But there's a guideline.
There is a guideline that most parents follow, and then it becomes successful for them.
Exactly. So like the example that I gave, because I said I'm not a psychiatrist or a counselor or anything, but I'm just talking from the angle of being a parent of 3 beautiful girls. And my firstborn is 24 years old and 18 and 15. And their dad left me when my little one was only 2. So that means it's 13 years ago. I've raised these children by myself. And it was the hardest journey But I did it because I made a choice. Because the thing is, Benjamin, some people see parenting as a job. It's not a job. Because a job, you can get tired today and say, oh, I hate cleaning, I don't want to do it. Or I hate this, I don't want to do it. Because it's a job. But this is not a job. This is a responsibility. And when you have a responsibility, you cannot take it and put it down and take it again. It is yours forever because you made that decision that you're having this child. Whether it was planned or not, the child is here. So you have to deal with it. And dealing with it to your best knowledge, which is taking responsibility. So we spoke about that as well. So what I did take that helped me was the courses that I attended. I say I took a 1-year course. I used to go to a lot of courses I attended, and that helped me to bring up my children. So I'm just talking in the basis of a parent and somebody who also did a lot of training on children, but I'm not a psychiatrist or anything.
Okay. And finally, we also talked about listening to understand. A good parent is a very good listener.
Exactly. If you want to actually get on your children's mind, listen to understand, not to respond. But a lot of us, we listen to respond. Even before they finish, we've picked up the one we want, and then we create stories. So we are becoming story parents. We shouldn't do that. We should listen to understand and not to respond.
And I remember you mentioned the way you normally listen to your daughters. When you come home, when after this you're going home, the first thing you do, you put your phone away and ask them how their day was.
Yes.
Most parents after work, they go home, and the first thing they do after getting home is to stick on their phones.
Exactly. Or to take work home. So for me, I'd rather stay in the office. Like now, I'm still in the office. So I'd rather stay in the office longer. But when I get home, even if I'm on the phone, I'll finish my phone call out in the car. When I finish my phone call, immediately I enter that house, my phone is, if my phone rings, my children sometimes, oh, mommy, pick it up. I say, no, I'm not picking it up. I'll call this person later. So they know that. So when I'm in the house, they know this is mommy and children time. And then I talk to every single one of them. When I finish, now is mommy's time as well, because mommy was in the office. And then now mommy's giving you her time. And then now mommy has her own time as well. And they respect that because they know that's the routine. With children, you have to put routine. There has to be a routine with children. That's why you see when they're younger, you know that 8 o'clock, they're eating their dinner, 8:30, they're in bed, because there's a routine.
Beautiful. Wow. So that is a recap of what we talked about last week. In case you missed it, you can watch it from YouTube. It is there. I'll be posting the link of that show which we did last week. And in fact, let me put it on the comments. The parents who missed it last week, we really talked about who is responsible. Is a teacher responsible of your children? Teaching, as I said earlier on, has become very difficult for everyone and every single teacher. When I was still in Japan, the parents they were given a nickname called monsters. These days, parents are not parents. A parent is a monster this day.
Yes.
Parents believe that their children are well behaved. They believe that their children can never make mistakes. And when they come to school, the first blame is on the teacher. My son is a very good boy. My daughter is a very good boy. A good girl, I mean. And so many teachers can actually attest to this if they are watching, that teaching, and especially teaching in high school or teaching teenagers, has become really complicated. If at home, it's difficult for the parent. How about the teacher who spends 5 days every single week with this boy or this girl? It's extremely hard, and that's why I want every person who is watching this to share this video. Such videos are more important, that can help someone in your family, in your circle, in a good friend who is struggling to raise his or her child. Share this video on your timeline. Copy the link, post it on your WhatsApp, and let all the parents, including uncles, aunties, cousins, anyone who has a child or a preteen or a teenager, to watch and follow this discussion. All right, so Lydia.
Yes.
We are moving now to today's discussion, and thank you so much for all of you tuning in here. Today, as we said, we have 4 subtopics, and we will go straight to the first topic, which is about, excuse me. The first topic today for us to discuss is about, we have already finished catching up. Now it's the discipline. And I want to begin by asking you a question here, Lydia, now that you're the guest,
Yeah.
is disciplining a teenager easy these days compared to compared to your generation or our generation? Which one is more easier?
I think I would say from the
Uh-huh.
bottom of my heart,
Yes.
disciplining a child then, now, or even tomorrow, it's easy. It depends on the foundation. I always say everything begins with the foundation. Benjamin, you cannot spoil a child, and then when now a child is 12, you want to start disciplining this child. They're not going to listen to you.
You already spoiled him. Yes.
Exactly, the child is already spoiled. And you know, in Kenya, we have this saying, samaki mkunje akiwa mbichi. You cannot wait for obambo. You know, obambo, that the fish that we eat as lures, because I'm Luo.
Yeah.
And you take it because it's so dry already. It's called obambo. If you want to bend it, it just breaks. Okay, you cannot bend it. But if it's tilapia fresh from the water, you bend it. It bends. Then that's how it will be, the way you want it. So if you've spoiled a child, now a child is 11 or 12, a child start answering you back, and now you want to discipline this child. Come on, it's impossible. It's next to impossible. It is possible. It is possible because it depends also with the child, but it's next to impossible. So as parents, you have to start disciplining your child at an early age. And when I say an early age, the time that child is born, the time that child is born. Remember last time I said, children, when they're born, when you put them down, they start crying. When you pick them up, they smile because they're smart. They're playing with their intelligence. They know that if you put me down, I'm crying. So from that time is the time you have to start instilling, to instill discipline in that child. Don't let it go. Now I see children, because a child is young, especially in the UK, because that's where I live right now. You see a child telling the mom, oh, shut up. And then the mom says, oh, that is so cute, because the child is small. The child is 2 years. The child is 1 year. Yes, the child is cute. The behavior is not cute. So you have to separate the behavior and the child. The behavior is not cute. A child cannot tell you shut up. A child cannot hit you. But because the child is young, you say, oh, he's cute. It won't be cute when that child is 11 years. It won't be cute when they're 13, because they've carried that, you saying they're cute. Now, let's say they're 9 and they say shut up, and then you start scolding them and telling them off. They'll be thinking, what's wrong with mommy? I've always said this, and she's always said it's cute. Now, all of a sudden, it's not cute because now this child is grown up. They shouldn't be using these words. No. So discipline should start from day one. So the discipline we had when those days, or now, or in the future, it is discipline. It's just what it's the discipline that you give. Like with that, they used to beat us. Okay, that won't work now. There was no talking. My mom never spoke to me.
Yeah.
All I had
It's just beating. Yeah.
They beat you in advance. Do you know?
Even when you are sick, they think that you are lying, so they beat you, and they say, okay, now I'm okay. I'm going to school today.
No, Benjamin, that's not even funny. The funny one was, they beat you in advance. They say, nikikuja nipate hapa mjosha vyombo, umesikia? How can you beat somebody in advance? How do you know that you come back na vyombo hazijaoshwa, nyumba haijafagiliwa? Do you understand? So to me, there's two different things which people mistake. There's discipline and there's abuse. So you have to identify discipline and abuse. Now, what they gave me, especially, I'll say, or what they gave me in my family, that was abuse. Because I even asked my mom one day, I said, Mom, if you were in America or UK, all of us would have been taken away, because that was abuse. They beat you for nothing. Somebody has broken a glass, they beat you, they beat the whole family. And it wasn't even, you are not part of breaking the glass. You are not even in the house when that glass broke.
All of you are beaten thoroughly.
All of you have been beaten. Something is not, so that was abuse. So there's a difference between abuse and discipline, and we need to identify that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you smack a child like this, or you smack a child in the bum, that is not abuse. That's part of discipline. Okay. Wow. But more, because now children listen. That's why I say listen to understand. So if your child does something, you sit that child down and you ask the child, what have you done? Why did you do it? So there's what have you done? So the child will tell you, oh, this is what I've done. Maybe I stole something in the shop. Okay. Why did you steal it? So there's also a why, because there's a reason why people do things. So why did you steal it? Okay, and then what should you do? What should you do now? Never to repeat what you did. Now you see you've spoken. You see you've reasoned with this child, and now you give the child because in everything people do, there's always a repercussion.
Yes.
So now tell this child there's always a repercussion to everything that we do in our lives. Now this is going to be the repercussion for what you did.
And so then it's a process here.
It's a process. So you don't just take the child and start beating them like the world is coming to an end.
Which makes me to ask you this question here, that yes, in the past for us it was abuse, but to some extent even now, other than saying it's abuse, it's kind of a punishment. I'll give you an example of a parent. We have a very interesting observation here by one of our viewers. What is her name? Sheila Wakoli says, I have a friend with 11 and 13 years old in Italy. They literally yell and curse at their father because they know the mother can and will protect them.
And that is, Benjamin, before you go to that question, that was our third one. Remember, we'll talk about boxing.
The boxing, we will come to that. Actually, thank you for reminding me that. My question was that these days, it's very confusing between punishment and disciplining. A parent finds a child who has refused to do homework and is busy playing video games and decides to take away all the video games equipment together with a computer and locks them somewhere. So this child now is left without a video game and must start doing the homework. So that's a very big punishment. If I took your phone now and I tell you that you will not use this phone for the next 2, 3, 4, 5 days, it's going to be a very tough moment. So do you think these days parents confuse punishment with discipline?
That one as well. I think there should be ground rules, Benjamin.
Rules. Yes.
If there's no ground rules, a child can do anything they want. Then they will come and play games. But you see, like I always give example with my house. Monday to Friday, there was no television. There was no phone. There was no, you come back from school, I take your phone, even though sometimes my children, when we had meeting, I told you we always have meeting once a month. They will say, that's invasion of privacy. I say, well, I'm sorry, my darling, but this is what mom has to do. Mom will do this. So even though they'll go against it, children don't like that, but you have to set it. Nobody likes
set the rules, yeah.
Even us, when God is disciplining us, we don't like it. We're like, God, please. We do not, nobody likes discipline, but you have to put it in place regardless. So ground rules. The child knows exactly Monday to Friday, I'm not supposed to play with my games. So the time that you've allowed this child to play the games and you come and take the games away, the child will be confused. And they'll be saying, but mommy, between 10 and 12, I'm allowed to play. Why are you taking my games? But the child knows that you're only allowed to play for 4 hours. After that, you're not supposed to have it. Immediately you come home, you just look at them and say, what's the time, honey? And what are you doing? Oh, mommy, I'm sorry. Oh, daddy, I'm sorry. Because they know.
So in your case, did you create rules with your daughters?
Yes.
Did you sit down together with them?
Yes, they know. Monday to Friday. And they used to wake up in the morning as well. And that was so funny because now they laugh at it. They say, Mom, seriously, watch news in the morning. Because I wanted them to know what is happening in the world. Right? So 30 minutes in the morning, they wake up. 30 minutes, they have to watch news before they can now start getting ready for school. Monday to Friday, no TV. I was just coming back. They find I've cooked for them. They find the food is ready. They go and have a wash, come and eat their dinner, homework. Saturday and Sunday, it was a free day. I'll give them their phone. But even Saturday and Sunday, there was 2 rules. So if now I've told my child that, okay, it's today's on Saturday and you're allowed to play, and then I come and take things from her, what is that? You're confusing the child. So when it comes to discipline, Benjamin, he has to. Now, let me give you an example. One I was in the, we were on the train with my daughter. And I told her, she said something still in English. And I said in Swahili, because the train is full and I don't want people to hear what I'm saying. I said, nitakuchapa, unafanya. Do you know this girl looked at me and said, excuse me, mommy, what did you say? And then people started laughing in the train. Like, people don't like when we speak our language. I told her again in Swahili, sijali mami, tukifika nyumbani, utajua. She was like, oh, mommy, I'm so sorry. I understand. I say, oh. So I looked at everybody in the training. I said, wow, she actually understands. That's great, honey, that you understand. Because she knew that. And this is something that a lot of parents make mistake, but sometimes they don't even realize that they are doing this. Once you alter the punishment, you have to do it. You cannot tell a child that I'm going to take your phone and then the child will come and smile. Remember, I said children are smart. They know that, oh, mommy is going to take my phone because I did this. So she'll come to mommy or daddy. Oh, daddy, oh, I love you, daddy. There's no love. Forget that. Whatever I said has to run. That's why, as a parent, do not just get angry and say things, because then you're not going to follow up. So your children will just, oh, don't worry, mom is always just saying things. Dad always just say things. They don't do it. Whatever you do, whatever you say from your mouth as punishment, you have to do it. So do not say something like me now. All my 3 children, there are times they didn't have a birthday because they've done something and I'm looking and thinking, what will I do to make this child think she'll never do it again? Okay, you're not having your birthday. So my second born, one day when I say she's not having a birthday, this woman called me because she and a friend they had a birthday together. The woman called me and she was like, oh, please, your daughter is having a birthday with my daughter. They arranged already. Please, ma, please, just let her have a birthday. Look for another punishment. I say, excuse me, ma'am. In my house, I do not just alter punishment. But when I say it, it has to run. That's why I have to think. So anytime if the children do something very naughty, I'll just tell them, wait, mommy will come back, sweetie. Let mommy think. Let mommy think. But when I say it, I will do it. So they know it. Even their friends always say, oh my God, your mom, anything she says, she'll do it. You have to do it. And that is part of discipline. You cannot tell a child, when we go home, I'll take your mobile phone, and then you don't take it.
They take it. They think like you're joking. You're not serious.
They will never take you serious. They will never take you serious. They always say, oh, mommy's did that. So when it comes to discipline, guys, it is
the rules. So the rules you set with your child, they should know. Like, for example, what I'm reading here is these rules have, first of all, you sit down, you agree. After you have agreed, and then the child knows that if I do this, this will happen.
Yes.
And once they do that mistake and then that thing happens, if it doesn't happen, then they will think that, oh, the parent she's a joker. And they will continue doing the same thing.
Exactly.
Somebody has said something here very interesting, Lydia, about confusing attention and affection.
Yes.
You know that you love your child so much. Maybe you have only one child or 2 children and you're a single parent, or even both of you, or the father siding with father siding with the daughter and the mother siding with the son.
Yes.
To break and bend those rules. These rules you're talking about, when they are created, like you created for your daughter, can they be changed?
No, you can't.
No, with time, like when they are changing their behavior, and then they're becoming more, and they are reaching the expectations that you had, that, oh, you set this rule about internet, about the phone, about cleaning their rooms, and you can see they are improving. Can you reach a point where you change them? Or in your style, how did you do it?
I think if you start changing things, you confuse the children. So, of course, like I used to take their phone, but once my daughter is 18, of course, I can't take their phone anymore because now they're adults. So I expect you to know that I cannot go on the internet and start talking to somebody, because that person might be an impersonator, lying that they're 12 and they're not. But when you're 18, you should have this. So when I'm setting the rules, I always tell them, like, let me tell you something. My children are not allowed to wear eyelashes. They don't do eyebrows. They don't do lipstick. They don't put chemical on their hair. Because since they were little, I explained to them the damage of those things. But I said, but when they're 16, on their 16th birthday, they're allowed to wear those things only for 1 day. After that, you're not allowed to do it again until you're 18. So I've said this already. So regardless of how good you are or how whatever you are, you're not. So because of that, my daughter, who is now 24, she doesn't even do those things. She only does it when she's going out. She'll be like, oh yeah, I'll do my lashes. Sometimes she even just go with the lashes only. Because of the way I brought her up, you do not do, even her hair up to now, she's 24. Her hair, she's never put chemical on her hair. Because I say that you need, because things like chemical, those things are chemical. That's why when you're pregnant, they tell you don't put chemical on your hair because they enter inside your body. So why should I do that for my child? Why should I allow my child to put chemical and it goes inside? But when they're 18, they now have a choice because now you're an adult. But I've set these rules from ground rules from day one. I'm not going to change it because now you're good. I did not put them because you are bad. I put them to protect you from being bad. So the rules are there already. So they're not changing.
All right. Thank you for that clarification. We have so many reactions here. Everyone who is joining here, Lydia is on fire as always. Remember that she has raised 3 daughters. The first daughter is 24. The second one again is 17 or 18. Yes. And then the third born is 15. So these are technically teenagers and a young adult who is 24. And that's what we are talking about here. We are still focusing on the second topic of today, which is disciplining, on how can you discipline your teenager very well. And the key thing that Lydia is emphasizing here is start early. But there are parents who are watching here and they never disciplined their children when they were under the age of 12. And that is more complicated. Do you have any piece of advice quickly before we move on to the next topics?
Yeah, I think
if a parent now, you're saying, oh, take the phone away, do this, I never did this with my child, how can they start?
Well, if your children are misbehaving, if your children are okay, because even though some parents, they didn't do all these things with their children, but their children are really well behaved on a natural level. It has happened. But some of them are really bad, not behaved at all, which I really get angry when I see that. So with these ones, if you did discipline them, like I said last time, it's never too late. It's never too late. You can still start communicating with the children, because you see somebody can look at you and say, wow, mom has changed or dad has changed. Because now you start talking to them, you start including them in your plans. Like, let me give you an example. When I was pregnant with my second born, because this is in a white man land, I was discussing that with my daughter, my first daughter, that I'm pregnant, and my mother-in-law was livid. She was, what are you doing? I was like, well, I have to talk to her. So she didn't understand why I'm including my child in my pregnancy. You're pregnant, for crying out loud. You know, in Kenya, they will say, unaenda kununua mtoto kwa sokoni. So when you didn't discipline your children and now they're 12 and they're out, they're just like wild, sit them down. Start including them in your program. Let them start seeing you more. Because a lot of children, the reason why a lot of children go wild is because their parents are not there. And talking of diaspora, their parents are not there. Wanaangalia simiti ngapi nitanunua, sijui ni nani niko na nini, nikienda Kenya ninang'ara nini. That is wrong, because you're doing it to the expense of your children. So you need to start spending time with your children. You need to start talking to them. You need to start including them in your plans. Let them feel loved. Let them feel important. Let them feel acknowledged. Let them feel seen and heard. You know, in Kenya, ukiingia form 1 wanasema ati amono is just to be seen and not to be heard. But with your children, let them feel all those emotions that mommy can see us or daddy can see us. They can. She acknowledges us. She understands where we go. She also includes us in whatever she's doing. That can help you change your children's behavior.
Yeah. All right.
And of course, while you're talking to them, set ground rules together, because you do not set ground rules by yourself when you're meant to do it when they were younger. So now set ground rules together with them.
So it's perfectly okay now, these children, to begin saying, hey, mami siku hizi amebadilika.
It's nice.
You can start from anywhere. It's not too late to discipline your child. If you're watching this and whatever, remember, as Lydia said, she's not an expert. She's not a psychiatrist. She's not a psychologist. She has just managed to raise 3 daughters on her own. And she's sharing her experiences. So even you as a parent who is watching this, you can start from somewhere. It's not yet too late. At the end of the day, this is still your child. He's still your child. Another observation which I want to make, Lydia, and in form of a question, sometimes, as you said, when a kid is young, they will cry. And when you lift them up, they start smiling, you know. The same situation can happen when now he is a teenager or she is a teenager. And they can test your limit, you know. They can test your limit to see if you tell him to come home immediately after watching a movie. come back home at exactly 8 p.m. And then the boy or the girl comes back at 10 p.m. I am sure she is testing you.
Yep.
In such situations, now the rule has been broken. What can a parent do?
Like I said, that everything we do has a consequence.
Consequences, yes.
Everything has consequences. So when they do that, before they go, you have to talk to them. Before they go, say, sweetheart, you have to be here at 10 p.m.
Don't go anywhere after the movie.
They don't go anywhere after the movie. Or even if you do, just make sure at 10 you're home. If you don't, right, this is what's going to happen. So you've told them already what's going to happen. So if they come late, that means that whatever you told them, they don't really value it. So you tell them, okay, then you came at 10:30. I told you 10, and I said this is what's going to happen. And you actually still came at 10:30. That means that whatever I told you wasn't important to you. Now I'm going to top it up with my own, because the one was the two of us, but you still broke it. So now I'm going to top it up with my own. Saying that it just happened 2 weeks ago when my daughter went out, and I told her come back at 10. She came back 10:15. In fact, she started calling me. I said, no phone call. That wasn't the plan. Plan was not you call me. Plan was you come home at 10. So when you get home, just get home at 10. So she came home. So I told her, if you do not come home by 10, you're not going to leave this house again for the next 1 month. And we agreed. And then you come home at 10:15. That means that 1 month, you didn't care about the 1 month. So I now topped up again. And she was like, oh, but mommy. I said, no, sweetheart. You know the rules. You know the rules. So now it's 2 months. Even her sisters were coming to I said, this is not your fight, the two of you. So you get back to your room, or you two, I'll punish you for nothing. So just go. So they're like, okay, we don't want to be punished. So they left. So now it's 2 months.
Okay. Wow. So that's the consequences for her coming late and breaking that rule. Consequences are very important once the rule is broken.
Yes, and you must tell your children that there's always consequences. There's no free, you do thing alafu unaenda hivyo. There's always consequences. And that is what you have to teach them, because even when they go out in the world, when you go and do something, there's a consequence. And the consequences can be you killed. The consequences can be you killing somebody. The consequences can be you ending up in prison. So when you start teaching them in the house that there's consequences, when they go out there in the world, they know that whatever I do, there's a consequence. Yeah.
So in this case, the way you told your daughter, now that you didn't come home at 10 o'clock, you came at 10:15 or 10:15, the consequence is you will not go out again for the next 1 month.
I topped the month that we agreed. Because remember, we agreed.
You already agreed even before she went out.
Before she went out. And she was like, oh, mommy, I'll be back on time. She even gave me high five. And then you go and then come late.
Yeah.
So there's no coming late. We have to agree. And whatever time you agree, that's the time you're coming back. Unless you tell me there was fire, there was a break-in. But don't tell me that, I forgot. You have a phone. You can look at the time.
You see everything. And you know what time you will finish whatever you're doing. It should be by 10. She could have been at home. Exactly. There's a question by Fide Love. I think she didn't get the age of your daughter. You're talking about what age is that daughter? You have 3 daughters.
15.
The one who is 15, the one who came home late. Okay, all right. So Fide Love, she's talking about the third born, and she's 15 years old. If you're learning something, let us know there on the comments. You can send in your question. This is the Bold and Raw Talks with me, Lydia Tett Olet, based in the United Kingdom, from Kenya, but raising 3 amazing angels, 24-year-old, 18-year-old, and a 15-year-old by herself. So if you're watching this, you can always watch a repeat on YouTube if you're just joining here. And we encourage you as a parent to continue sharing this video. We started this program every Monday. Benjamin, together with Lydia, we will try to be talking about parenting, because we believe that parenting is a wide topic. And it's so long as you have a child, or you're planning to have a child, these are some of the topics you can never run away from. So long as you have a child, as you're watching us, or so long as you're planning to have a child, or you have younger brothers.
Benjamin,
Yes.
I'll come next time. I'll come with my daughter. I'll come with my daughter.
Yes, that's what I wanted to tell you. You need to bring them here, and then we will question them some questions. Because sometimes in social media, people begin asking, Lydia, raising 3 daughters, very well behaved. Where are they? We want to see them. Amana to enjoy,
But when it was COVID, a lot of people saw them. I used to dance with them.
Yes, I've seen your videos.
Yeah, so I'll bring my 24-year-old. She will tell you that mommy is a no joke person, but again, we are best friends.
Yes, I want the viewers who are watching to believe in you, to believe in what you have done with them, and when your daughters will be coming on screen, and then they can also personally ask them questions, so that we can make this discussion more effective and more relevant. Like you are speaking from experience, and your children are there. Children will not lie. They will just say, "Huyu mama yetu alikuwa shetani lakini nampenda."
I know. Yeah, I'll bring my daughter here.
Okay, great. We have the topic about discipline. We will revisit it time to time, and of course, the most important thing that I'm picking up about disciplining is important to communicate and explaining calmly and clearly what the problem is to your child. If there's a problem about internet, problem about the phone, problem about cussing and shouting, you have to explain clearly and calmly to this child. And then after you have explained, tell your child how they haven't stuck to the rules. Remember, at the end of the day, disciplining is about rules, and if rules are broken, there are consequences. And these rules, what Lydia is saying, you have to agree, both of you, a parent and a child, before they make a mistake. These rules are there to guide your child from making better decisions, because they are young. Under the age of 18, they want to do so many things. Me as a teacher, I have seen how children behave, the teenagers at class. In my classroom, they behave like they know everything. And you see that their brain is growing, their bodies are changing, so they believe that they know so much. Yani, mtoto anakuambia kuna kitu unaweza niambia. Hujui kutumia simu. They think that they know so much, but in the real sense, that's how they are. That's why they are teenagers. And you as a parent, you have a challenge to begin realizing that yes, my kid might know a lot, but they will make more mistakes because they think they know a lot, and your job is to create those rules and give consequences when they break the rules, so that they don't make so many mistakes. We want to move on to the third topic about boxing match. Boxing. Fighting with a teenager. Teenager. This is why I want parents to listen carefully. Your son, after your son, for you, Lydia, you don't have sons, and you can hear from my voice. There are parents who tell me when their sons broke their voice, it was so annoying. For the first time, you hear somebody speaking, "Hello, hey, mom, I want food."
You're like, what?
So this fighting between parents and teenagers, I want you to talk about the boxing match. What do you mean by boxing match with parents and teenagers?
Yes, and even now is when the lady's question will also come in.
The lady from the Italy, Sheila Wakoli.
Yes, yes. One thing, do not start arguing with your children. How can you be arguing with your child? Is this your husband or your wife or your boss at work or a colleague? No, you do not argue with the child. You listen. A child sits down, you listen to what mom is saying, and then now you respond to me. Why did you not do this? But I see parents arguing with the child. I'll give you an example. One day, this auntie came to visit me, and her child was chewing gum, and at the same time eating chocolate. So the mom goes, "You cannot eat chewing gum and eat chocolate." This is what the girl said. The girl did this to her mom. "I can eat my chewing gum if I want." I saw my daughter looking at me like this, like, "Hey, Jesus, if that was me," before I even finished that statement. I tell them, "I'll slap you back to your dad's village. You know, your dad comes from huko kwa Waluya huko. Hey, utajipata huko bila kulipa ndege." How can you do that? And then now the mom was arguing with the child. You argue. How can you argue with your child? You should not argue with the child. A child should not answer you back. A child should wait for you to finish. When you finish talking, you now tell her, "Okay, now your turn." And then the child too now will talk. and say, yeah, mommy, I disagree or I agree. But no, you're not saying, you know the way you argue with your friends or couples argue. You should not argue with your child. You should have the last say, not your child.
And this is a teenager, regardless whether she's 15, she's 18. No. It doesn't matter.
You cannot argue. Even a 24-year-old, I told you last time, even in a dream, one day she was dreaming. Let me just tell you something funny. One day she dreamt and she woke up and she was in a panic mood. I said, what is it? She said, mommy, I dreamt that I was rude to you. So because of that, she was panicking. I said, even in your dream, you cannot dream that you are rude to me, because you cannot be rude to me. But all those things you have to say from when they're little, Benjamin. You cannot tell your child, do this, and your child is arguing with you. Yeah, but mom did it, and then they're arguing. No, but I said, no. Now, sit down. Mommy's talking or daddy's talking. When daddy finishes talking, the daddy says, okay, now your turn. Because as well, you have to listen to your child. It's not just what you say. You have to listen to your child. But at the end of the day, you've said, the child have said. Who makes the final decision? You. Okay, I've heard what you've said, and I understand, but this is what's going to happen. You have to make that final call. So stop arguing with your children.
The argument here, like you say, again, their parents were like, Sheila is really disturbed, the lady from Italy. Sometimes these rules are not agreed upon, like father is bending the rules. The mother is maybe bending the rules. And so the fight will come from there. So the one child, like I remember my sister was always going to my dad. Because, daddy is going to protect her. Yes. And my brother was going to my mom because he knew my mom is going to protect him. Yeah. So sometimes this fighting, do you believe they become, and the argument becomes because these rules are bended and the rules are broken?
Okay, so that is the boxing as well with the parents. That is all I have written down here.
Yes.
There's nothing like bad cop and good cop when it comes to parenting. Because when people, every time when I get it, there's a bad cop and a good cop. In parenting, there's nothing like that. All of you have to be in the same wavelength. If you're not in the same wavelength, then that is it. That is why you see children going to daddy, and then daddy will say no. Or daddy will say yes. Nothing like that. When a child comes to you, say, I'll speak to your mom, and then I'll let you know. Or I'll speak to your dad, and then I'll let you know. Once they hear parents are like that, there's no way they'll beat the two of you head together.
They know if I go to daddy is worse. If I go to mommy is even worse. So
exactly.
she's on her own. Yes.
Exactly. You are parenting. God gave you these children to bring up. What will you stand and tell God that this is what I did to my child? This is what I did for my child. As parents, you have to be on the same level together. You're making decisions together. So that when they come to dad, is the same answer. When they go to mom, is the same answer. Now, we are the ones that spoil our children. And then at the end of the day, we start blaming them. No, blame yourself. It's you who spoiled that child. Because you try to be a good person so the child can love you more. Let me tell you something. The child will never ever love you more. The child loves both mom and dad. It's just at the moment, you can hear some children even telling their parents, oh, I hate you, mom, I hate you, dad. First of all, they shouldn't even use those words. But two, they don't really hate you. It's that time what you did that made them angry. But they'll say, so because they told their mom, I hate you, their dad should not be happy and think, oh, they love me. No, they don't. They love you the same. So you all should be thinking together to raise these children for better future. God has given you a priceless gift. Why do you want to spoil this gift? So both of you have to be in the same place to raise up children.
Of course, there are concerns. Yeah, of course, there are concerns like Fide Love. She was here last week. She's currently living in the US. Co-parenting, is a bit complicated. The parent wants this parent wants this, then the other one wants this. Like you say, I wish you could consider co-parenting while talking about discipline. Don't forget, raising children in America is very different. Children have so much rights if they go to school and care of their parent. The CPS get involved, and that's it for you. We really balance discipline in the States. So maybe in America that's why maybe in the future we will have a discussion of parents who are raising children in America to give their own experiences. But here we can just share our general views. As you said, there are basic guidelines that a parent can follow. but there is no manual that this fits for everyone and every single parent watching here. But what would you like to say about this in your own observation and experience?
What I would tell Fida Love is,
Yeah.
I also live in the UK. UK and America, the rules are the same. You have CPS, we have social services. So it's the same thing. Our children get taken away here as much as they take them away in America or Italy or any white man's land. We have those social services, they're just different names, but they're the same people with different names. Now, the problem comes here, Benjamin. Parents, if a mother and a father are not in agreement, they're fighting, they hate each other. Now, one parent will want to now, and that's the boxing match. Stop using your children like boxing match, because everybody wants to score points. Everybody wants to be loved the best. So to resolve that problem is a mother and a father, they have to sit down and say, okay, it did not work for us as parents. It did not work for us as husband and wife. But please, let's consider our children. If you're a mother, and I know that so many mothers are more of, we've all been given different emotions with God as a mother and as a father. Okay, mothers, we are more loving. Our emotions are so loving and we care. If you see your husband your ex doing this, you know what? Humble yourself to the ground. Eat the humble pie. Do whatever you can. Get that man. Talk to him. Whatever you do it for your children's sake. But you see, some women are proud as well, okay? Or some men are that ego of men. Nobody wants to talk to the other person. So who is suffering? The children. The grass is the one that suffers when the cows are fighting. Even here in the UK, we have for co-parenting. The same rules, the same body of people that come and take your children, the same one here we have in the. I've seen Tieni Tema. Tieni Tema is a teacher here in the UK, so she knows exactly what I'm talking about. Even here, we have the same rules like in the US. The problem is parents need to talk to each other. When they are fighting, they don't talk to each other. They are angry. They're using their children as baits. You're not going to see your child. You're not going to see. What is that? These children did not ask to be born. So they shouldn't be the ones suffering. But co-parenting is hard because the parents themselves are not friends. If parents are friends and they're the same book, the discipline will be the same. Because
just be the same, yeah.
Yeah.
So the responsibility still goes back to the parent, that even in such a situation where somebody is saying, oh, the father or the ex is doing this and I'm doing this, they have to find a way to talk on how to agree in certain rules for their children. If they don't do that, then the problem will go to the child.
Yeah, and that's what I say, Benjamin.
Yes.
You are the one who is responsible for your child, not the other person. So you see, now this is a very good example, because if we all say he's responsible, she's responsible, nobody's going to humble themselves and come and talk to this other person, because you're expecting the person to do this. But if you say, this is my child, I don't care about the dad or the mom, what they're doing, I'll go and talk to the mom and the dad. I don't care if you look at me and say, oh, look at you, you've come to beg me. I will beg you. I will lick your feet. Just don't spoil my children for me. I will lick your feet. Just don't spoil my children. Because I want you to be on the same page with me and be on the same page together. Be smart. Do it for your children. Don't do it for yourself. Let him or her think that you're begging. It's fine. I will beg. But for my children, I'll do anything. So it's your responsibility to look after those children.
How about for your situation after your ex left, when you had the third born, she was 2 years old and now she's 15. And that is about a quick math. You have raised those 3 daughters for 12 years alone.
13
years alone.
In fact, my daughter is going to be 16 in next week. She'll be 16.
The co-parenting for you, what happened during those 13 years?
I think I would say that I was really, really blessed because the dad wasn't interested in them. So I would say that was a blessing because he wasn't interested. So he just let me be. So I looked after those children myself without him interfering. So I would say in that side, he didn't care about them. So I took them and I did everything myself. It's only now when they were older, he now wants to come in and maybe telling my last born things that he shouldn't say. But when he says that, my last one will come and say, oh, this is what daddy said, this is what daddy said. And I'll ask her, do you think what daddy says is right? She's like, no, why do you think it's not right? Then she'll explain to me, because I want her to understand that what dad said is not right. I don't want to say, how can your dad say that? It's not right. I want her to understand herself that what dad said is not right. So I said, do you think what dad said is right? She'll say, no. Why? And then she'll explain to me. And I say, good girl, give her a hug, and that's it. I will never phone the dad and start shouting at him or arguing with him. And now, because he doesn't see me shouting and arguing with him because sometimes they do that so that you can get angry and take the phone. How can you say that to my child? No. I'm not getting into that business. I'm responsible for my child, not you as an adult. But you see, he did that when my daughter is now older, and I've put the ground rules, and the foundation is strong. Nothing can shake it. Even the world did not shake it. So what makes you think that you can shake it? Do you understand? So, but if the children are younger, you have to make peace with your ex. You have to kiss the ex's feet for your children's sake.
That's a very tough one. Can you kiss? Yeah. Yes. Can you, let me ask the viewers, can you do what Lydia is saying to humble yourself with the other missing parent or the other ex who has left you with a child? Can you humble yourself to reach an agreement on how to raise? But you see, there are parents who are watching here. Maybe it's a man. I will speak as a man, on a man's perspective. That ego, and I have heard stories where a man has left the woman with a child, and he is busy telling her, I don't want to hear that someone else is raising my child. Can you imagine? Nisisikie umepata mtu mwingine. So any man who is watching, do you think it's fair for you to tell your ex, I don't want you to have another boyfriend. I don't want to hear another man is raising my child. You are not in the house. You are far away. And then they give these conditions that if you date, if you remarry, I will not support the child. So again, the fighting, the boxing match continues between these two people, saying that if you do this, or the other lady has heard rumors or has confirmed that the man has decided to move on and to marry another lady, you know? And then the lady says, now that you have married another lady, I want more money to raise this child. So the fighting goes on. And at the end of the day, the parents, these two people, have to humble themselves, as you said, to agree that their fighting should not affect the disciplining, and the discipline and the raising of the children.
And that's why I think programs like this and going to parental classes are very important. Stop using your children as baits. Your child did not ask to be born. So you as a father cannot tell the woman that you're not allowed to, because they are. Even here in the UK, I've seen men who are saying, oh, I don't want to be seen with any. I've seen a man. In fact, I have one of my friends who says, I don't want to be seen with any woman, because if I'm seen with any woman, my wife said, I will not see my ex said, I'll never see my child again. Why are you using children as baits? You're using children as baits. If you do this, I'm gonna do this. Or you're not allowed to see your children. Especially women that know that the men love their children so much. They'll use that against them and say, you'll never see your children. You have to give me this money. You have to do. Why are you using children as baits? Nobody has the right to do that. This is a child, and this child needs both parents. This child needs a mom who is glued in, and the dad is glued in. Stop using children as baits. And now coming back to the lady's answer, what the lady asked in Italy, that the child curses the dad or something.
Yes,
I think that was the question.
Let me get it from the comment. Yes, cursing, yeah. These teenagers who will curse you and call you names in front of you, and then the other parent is just watching, yeah?
Exactly. So that's the same thing. That parent is using that child. And even the swearing, where did the child learn the swearing? From the parents. The child cannot hear swearing outside and come and use it in the house if you two are not swearing. Because you'll be like, what did you just say? But because they hear the parents using those words, it's okay for them to use those words. They hear the mom saying that to the dad, or they hear the dad saying that to the mom. So it's okay, because now if the child sees that this is how dad speaks to the mom, she or he will want to speak to the mom the same way. And then now the dad is even protecting the child, or the mom is protecting the child. All I can say with all those things, Benjamin, parents, stop using your children as baits. These children will grow up and they will hate you. They will literally hate you. That's why you see children go away and they say, I don't want anything to do with my parents. I don't want anything. And then you as a parent, you start crying. Oh, I gave birth. Look at my children. You've forgotten that you are the one who drove these children away with your silly behavior. You can't do that. You cannot use children as baits and abuse your husband or your wife in front of the child, or allow your child. Okay, now Benjamin, again going back to me.
This is what Sheila Wakoli was saying. She has a friend who was 11 and 13 years old in Italy. They literally yell and cuss at the father because they know the mother can and will protect them.
Exactly. Using the children as bait. Boxing match. You put the children to be a referee, and then you even beat the referee, and the referee falls on the floor. That is using your children as bait. Stop doing this, because these children will hate you, Benjamin. They will hate you. You know, like the last time somebody asked, can you tell the children are asking me where daddy is? Can you tell them? I say yes, because when they grow up, they will hate you when they find out that their dad was or their mom wasn't dead, like you say, because they'll say that everything you told us was a lie. And when you need them the most, let me tell you, the best time to enjoy children is not when they're younger. The best time to enjoy children is when they're older. I enjoy my children when you're now walking together. You are saying things in the same level together. You're doing great things of big people together. I do a lot of things together with my children. That's the time you're enjoying them. So imagine that time, Benjamin. You've sacrificed everything like I did. And then they now say they don't want anything to do with you. Why? Because you lied. That this partner, or because you allow them to abuse their mom or their dad, and you didn't say anything. You see now my children going back. Their dad he's not really somebody who even cares so much about them. But they are not allowed to say anything bad about their dad. Not even once. They say, wow. Say, excuse me, who did you just talk about? Was that your dad? Are you referring to? They say, oh, mommy, sorry. They are not allowed to say anything bad about their dad. I told them the only person who can say something bad about your dad is me, because he's not my dad, but he's your dad. It's the same thing. I can't say something bad about my own dad. So you're not allowed. So my children will never say anything bad about their dad.
Beautiful. All right. I hope people are picking up something there. We're winding up. We're almost now winding up. Let me see some. You can ask your question, Lucy Achola. What if, Benjamin, what if I'm a single lady who is taking care of my responsibilities? Will take that man come and start my children rules? I think she's asking, what about the man who comes, the missing parent, comes in and wants to change the rules that you already have? Like your ex now comes and says, hey, Lydia, wait. You have the rules about the phones. You take the phones every evening? No. For me, I will give them the phones until midnight, and then after midnight, I will take the phones. What can you offer her as your opinion or ideas in this parent who comes and wants to change the rules?
It's going back to talking to parents being friends, because for the sake of the children. It's going back. Unless there's abuse, and I always say, unless there's abuse, then it's different. But if this father did nothing to the children, or this mom did nothing to the children, and then the father left, because there's a lot of that. The father lives for 10, 15 years, and then he now wants to come back to the family. Yes, some women agree, some women say no. For me, I will never agree something like that in my life. But some women agree, which is fine, it's their choice. But now they come in and they want to start changing rules. That's the time you need, when they come, that's the time you need to talk to this man or talk to this woman and say, these are the rules that I've put down for the children. And ever since, these children are very good because they follow this rule. Please don't change these rules. Instead, help me to even make the rules stronger.
Better, yes.
Work together as a team. So you need to talk to your other half, your ex, whoever it is. You need to talk to them, because remember, you brought these children together. But the other person can just be evil person. One of the people are always evil, trying to manipulate situation. And that's what I'm saying. Stop using your children as boxing matches. Stop.
Okay. Thank you so much. I hope, Lydia, you have, Lucy Achola, you have gotten something. Let's wind up with the last topic for today, which is affirmation. Affirmation in a better, simple English. Kuna watu wenye kizungu wa inawalemea kwa hii page.
Yes.
Affirmation ni kusifu, ama ni kufanya nini?
Kusifu, yeah.
Kusifu mtoto wako.
Yes. Sasa kama mimi, I'll give you an example. When my daughter was 5, this is my 24-year-old. When she was 5 years old, alikuja kwa nyumba siku ingine akaniambia, and I'm happy she did. Akaniambia, mommy, why is my skin so dirty? And my friend is so because her friend was a white girl. Nikamwambia, mommy, it's because you're a beautiful black African princess. That's why you're like this. All beautiful black African princesses are like this. Akaniambia, so you mean she's not a princess? Nikasema, no, she's not an African princess. She might be English or England or whatever princess, but we're talking about you right now. You're a Black, beautiful African princess. So every day when my daughter left the house, I'll tell her, sweetie, who are you? I'm a beautiful Black African princess, and I am more than a conqueror, and I stand out and I don't fit in. Those are things that my daughter since she was 5. Now, when she entered secondary school, the teacher called me one day. This is secondary school now. She's 14. And say, is your daughter a true princess? I say, why? Or in school, she carries herself like, I say, yes, she is a princess. And then our friends told me something, and I was like, oh my God. When she drops money, she doesn't pick it up. When coins drop on the floor, she doesn't pick it up. So I asked her, Mommy, why are you doing that? Why? She said, Mommy, because real princess don't pick up coins. So I told her, come, Mommy is not a princess, eh? When coins drop, just pick it and give it to Mommy. When coins drop, because she believed, and she believes it up to now. I'm talking to you. She's a princess. So that is what, so every time you have to affirm, tell your children they're beautiful. That is why when men come and tell you, oh, baby, you're beautiful, they say, I know. That will be the answer. But if you don't affirm to your children, you're beautiful. Look at you. Benjamin, I'm so shocked and so sad that some women can actually, it's even worse if men says it. Yes, it's bad if both people say it. But some women actually call their children ugly. You're ugly. Look at you. You're black. You're dark. What is wrong with being black? What is wrong if your child is dark? It's your child. You are the one who gave birth to that black child. So you're the one who should blame yourself, not the child. So you're supposed to have affirmation every morning. And this is, I do it every morning religiously up to today. That my daughter is 24, one other one is 18, one other one is 15. And sometimes when they're downstairs, because I'm upstairs in my room, I just call them, Denise. And I'm sure sometimes they're like, oh my God, I know why Mom is calling me. Because I just call them, I give them a hug. I say, I love you so much, baby girl. You are my favorite baby. Yes. I call the second one as well. Larissa, yeah. Baby girl, I love you so much. You're my favorite baby. Just for nothing. They're just downstairs doing their things. I'm upstairs. I just call them. So you need to affirmation every time. So when your child goes out and somebody say you're beautiful or you're handsome, they will say, I know. That would be the answer. I know. And people say, oh, but you're too proud. No, I know.
And this is something that you have to do it, whether you feel like not saying it. You know, like, how can I tell my daughter, I love you all the time? Some parents will be like, kila siku, you mean like every day?
Not every day.
Every second.
Every second. When I'm leaving my house in the morning, if I'm leaving and my children are still there, I hug them and I say, see you guys, I love you so much, honey. That's in the morning. When I'm here to work, I call them. I make sure I call my children twice when I'm at work. By the time we finish, they call, oh, sweetie, love you, honey. When I go back home, when I see them, I hug them, I love you. When they're going to bed at night, when I'm saying good night, so I can do it 5 or 6 times, I have to say, I love you. Every time, I love you, baby. Oh, you are so pretty. I do that I do that religiously. One day I took a cup and I was like, I think it was Christmas time, over Christmas, and I say, cheers. And guys, if I've not told you I love you enough, my daughter was like, hey, mom, please. That is something we've had. They're like, no, mommy, please. That is something you do every second. We know.
Yeah.
Like, okay, sorry, guys. Oh, I'm saying, you guys, you just cracked my bubble, okay? Like, mommy, we know. So your children need to know.
To hear that all the time, praising them.
Exactly.
Because I've had stories of young teenagers who are expecting to excel in extracurricular activities like maybe football or basketball, and they really want to do that, but sometimes they are not talented enough to do it, you know. And it breaks their heart to see one of the, like for me, when I was in high school, I really wanted to play basketball, but when I tried, I couldn't play it so well, and I was not selected to join the school team. It broke my heart completely. And my desk mate was the captain of basketball in my school. So you can imagine I'm sitting with him, and every evening when we go for the games time, and he's the one who is playing, he's controlling, he's playing so well. But, you know, for him, he started playing when he was so young, which was disadvantageous to me. So there are parents who are here, and I want to encourage them that for me as a teacher, that if you do not affirm and remind your son or your daughter they are still okay, they are good, they are smart, they are handsome, they are talented. If you don't tell them, teach, as I said again, I want to repeat, teaching life has become very difficult. Most teachers are just working to get paid. They don't do it from their hearts like before. A teacher sacrifices. It's just like motivating the child all the time. Even when the child fails, cannot play very well, cannot excel in these other activities, there is a teacher who is always there to encourage him or her. But now it has changed. So the parents who are watching here, as a man, as a father, as a wife, or as a mother, please, again, I want to just emphasize what Lydia has been saying. You have to begin telling them, I love you, and all the sweet words. And I have a challenge which I found out with one of the motivational speakers, talking about affirmation even for us, for the adults. There are people who don't like themselves. There are people who cannot stand in front of a mirror naked and admire their body. They are there. They are here watching this video. But she said that if you tell yourself something good every single day, I am strong, I am beautiful, I am a conqueror. Every day you have to say something special and good about you. If you do it continuously, it will reach a point then even when you stand naked in front of a mirror, you're like, wow, but I love myself, I'm beautiful, I'm strong. It's the same thing what we're talking about here. As a parent, please, from today, begin telling your son or your daughter something beautiful about them. You can repeat. Like you say, I love you, you're a princess. It's okay to repeat. But you can also create more words. You can even Google, actually, the words of affirmation that can make this child to become stronger and better. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. And what you just said about I am, I've always, when I'm talking to people, even the other day in my work meeting, I said the strongest words in this world that can either make you or break you, that can define your success or your failure, is what follows I am. So you say, I am what? So if you say, I am ugly, I am stupid, I am fat, I am thin, that will sink into your subconscious, and that is what you become. Because your subconscious mind doesn't sleep. It works when you're asleep, it works 24/7. That's why sometimes when you I normally put Christian gospel music when I'm asleep. When I wake up to go to toilet at night, I'm singing the same song that is singing, but I was asleep. That's because my subconscious wasn't asleep. So it was listening to that gospel. So when I wake up, I'm singing the same gospel that is singing on YouTube. And you wonder, oh my God, I was singing the same song. That's because your subconscious doesn't sleep. So if you start saying the I am, what defines you is what follows I am. And if you keep saying that, if you keep repeating that, it sinks in your subconscious. So if your subconscious mind is working to greatness, I am great, I am unique, I fly like an eagle and sting like a bee. This every time you say that, and once it sinks in, it can never come out. And it's the same thing when you keep on affirming it to your children, that it sinks in their subconscious, and they know even when they are sleeping, waking up, this is who I am.
Yep, I totally agree with you. And when I listened to her, that was, let me see, it's been years now. Then I started telling myself, oh, those beautiful things, I am, and it changed. And sometimes people will say, na unajipenda. Hey, unajipenda. When people say that unajipenda in Swahili, in English, when people say that you really, really love yourself, then you have really reached that stage. The same way when a teenager is told by other people, hey, you really love yourself, that is when you know what you have been telling her or him, it has sunk, and then they believe in themselves. And if no one believes in you, then it's very hard to do whatever you want to do. At the end of the day, you have to believe in yourself. So this son or this daughter has to grow up believing in himself, no matter the challenges that he has, no matter what he has gone through. If everyone does not believe in him, including now the parent who does not believe in him, who is going to make him to believe in himself? He has only him alone with his life. And if he cannot believe in himself, then he cannot do things that he wanted to do and pursue his passions or his dreams as he gets older and older.
Yes.
Yep. So I think we have covered everything, Lydia.
Thank you.
Yes, we will pick a few questions here, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, today we were talking about disciplining our teenagers, and we have really covered so many areas the most important thing that we have picked from this discussion today is correcting, or discipline is not a punishment. Am I correct, Lydia?
Yes, it's not.
It's not a punishment. It's guiding your child towards appropriate ways to behave. In fact, I should put that on the comments, that disciplining is not a punishment. It is not a punishment. It's just guiding them in making and behaving in the correct way. So you have to think about how am I going to correct this child to behave in the correct way. Yes. Any question, ladies and gentlemen? If you have one quick question for Lydia, she's still here, but we have just finished our discussion. Remember, you can watch a repeat if you just joined from YouTube. I'll be posting the link of this same video. Last week's video is here. Let me put on the comment section. Those who missed last Monday, we were talking about who is responsible for your child. The link is there on the comments. That is the link. Feel free during your free time to watch. And one thing I want to say with parenting is as people spend more time in pursuing other things, they put a lot of time in their careers, in making money. I know they are doing it for their children, but somehow the same energy they want to study certain thing. I want to study on how to make YouTube videos so hard. The same parent does not put the same energy in raising the child.
Exactly.
Yes.
You're right.
Yes. So please watch that YouTube video and that we did last Monday. And if you are just joining us, you can watch a repeat of this video. So Lydia, please tell the viewers, how can they find you again?
Well, if you want to contact me, my name is Lydia Tett Olet, and that's the same name that is there, okay? It's there on the screen. That's the same name that I have on my Facebook. So Lydia Tett Olet. So if you want to message me, you can, and I'll get back to you. So that's the only way you can get in touch with me.
All right. Thank you so much. Can you look at my last comment? Sheila Wakoli. Sheila Wakoli has a really... Sheila wants to contact you. Sheila, you see the name there. Her name is Lydia Tett Olet. I hope you can contact Lydia. And then, what is your concern, Sheila? Sheila Wakoli from Italy. The problem... Oh, no, Stephen Otieno. The problem... We have a comment here. The problem is some parents of later days don't mind what comes from their mouths. They will talk ill of their exes in front of their kids, or they will abuse their kids with their father as examples.
Exactly.
Unafanana kama baba yako.
Yeah, and we spoke about that. And I think next time we'll bring that up as a subject.
Yes.
As well, next time.
Yep.
Yeah. Name calling
and blaming. Faith Yasmin, it's so stupid between a father and a mother to argue in front of their kids. Thank you so much. Let me see here. Sheila Wakoli is here, finally. The situation in Italy is horrible. After the divorce, the lady gets the house and more days with the children. The wife uses the children as a bait. The father, who is a Kenyan, receives a quarter salary, so the child learns from the mother. The boxing match you are talking about.
Boxing match, using children. And that is what, Benjamin, I think these lessons or these topics should be more of even people who have not thought of having children. So by the time you're having your child, that's why I get angry with, especially in my country, Kenya, when they say women rep. I don't understand what they're repping. I don't understand what their position is, because they should be talking to boy child and girl child similar to stop. If you have a child, don't use children as bait. Because when you're doing that thing, when the lady is talking about in Italy, what are you teaching your child? Because what are you training? How are you training this child? This child will come out, either they will come out good and don't do what, because like me, when we were growing up, my house was just fighting. So I made a conscious decision that when I have children, they will never fight. Benjamin, my children have never touched each other. I'm the one who's touched them, but they've never touched each other. Even when my daughter was 18, I told her, now you're an adult. If your sisters are being misbehaving, you can even pinch them. She said, Mommy, I don't know how. I've never done it. So these children, when they see things like this, they can either come out and make the conscious decision that I will never do that to my children and I don't want anything to do with my parents, or they can turn out just to be like their parents. And the cycle will start repeating itself. What generation are you bringing? What are you creating? Stop using your children as bait.
Beautiful. Thank you. I think that marks the end of this. Stop using your children as baits. Thank you so much, Lydia. Let us finish here for today. I wish you all the best again with your 3 daughters and the journey of raising them, especially the 15-year-old. I'm concerned about her. She's a last-born. We will talk about last-borns too. Whether they get favors or is there favorism when it comes to parenting. When a child is there are so many topics about parenting, and that's why I encourage any viewer who is watching here, please like and follow this page if you're watching for the first time. Every Monday from 5 p.m. United Kingdom time. Monday, we will try our best together, me and Lydia, to talk about parenting and just to encourage each other to become better parents for our future generations. So please like and follow this page if you're watching for the first time, and remember to tell a friend about this talk. You can actually send it to your ex who is missing in action.
Yes, your ex.
And probably you can also send it to someone who is becoming a mother or a father very soon. They need to tune in next coming Mondays to be prepared about this thing about parenting so that they don't make mistakes that some of us made, and to raise better children. Thank you, Lydia.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Enjoy your evening and see you again next time. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for your company. See you again next Monday. Take care, and I wish you a beautiful evening, or if it's in the morning or afternoon, enjoy the rest of your day. From me, Benjamin, Bold and Raw Talks. Goodbye and take care, and all the best in your parenting.